Returning serve can be really tricky, particularly on the left-hand side, as it's often your backhand with the glass. In this video, we're going to explain what you should do on an easy serve and what you should do with a difficult serve against the glass at the different levels that you play at. The most important thing with the return is to get this ball in. If you make a mistake, it is a present for your opponents. You've got to get this ball in first, otherwise you don't even have a chance at the point. So primary objective, number one, consistency, get that return in. So before we talk about the difficult serves against the glass, what do you do if you get an easy serve? If someone hits their second serve, for example, into the middle of the box, the objective of your paddle point with you and your partner is to take the net position. And if you can do that straight away, then that is perfect. So if you do get an easy ball, the best option is to lob. Try and lob your opponents, go over their head completely, and then come in with your partner. If you find there's a gap when your server has maybe not approached, for example, you could play the ball as a Chiquita or down to their feet and then approach. But the idea is that if you get an easy serve, use that and immediately take the net position. Now let's look at facing a more difficult serve, and we're going to look at this at different levels. So at a low intermediate level, often players hit the glass with some funky side spin and the ball hits into the glass and comes away. And so if you're at a lower level, a low intermediate level, and they have a good serve, then still your objective is to get that ball in, but you've got to give yourself the space from the glass. And if you find it easier to pop up a lob rather than trying to play down to the toes where you might make a mistake, then you can always do that. We usually recommend that the lob is played within your capabilities when you know you can play a good lob, but this might be the exception at a low intermediate level. If you don't think that you can hit the ball down to the feet of the server, then a lob or something higher in the air just to get the ball in is important. Before we move on, we're talking about different levels and how you can return against those serves. In our membership, we have courses for different levels for the return of serve, where it teaches you the techniques and the tactics you need at a beginner level, then an intermediate level, an advanced level, and a roadmap takes you through that so that you can progress at the right speed so that you don't plateau. So check it out, thepadelschool.com. You can do a 7-day free trial and you can immediately get access to all of those courses. As you go up in level, now let's look at a high intermediate, for example, and that serve comes in. At your level, you probably can now direct this back to the server. So we don't recommend playing a lob off a good serve from the glass, because it's likely that you won't hit the perfect lob or the best lob, and therefore your opponents can attack it. So at this stage, at this level of your game, I recommend playing a block back towards the server. If you can get it down to the feet, great, but even waist height, they can't do too much damage from the volley, but that's what you want to do if they hit a good serve against the glass. Again, give yourself space, keep the technique nice and simple and compact, but you are going for a nice big target down, waist height or below, to the server if you can. Now, when you get to a really advanced level, or you're talking at the pro level, you can then introduce this lob back in, because it is again within your capability. If they hit a very good serve against the glass, at a high level, you can probably hit an accurate lob off that return. So you can introduce it back into your return again. But the most simple version is to block that ball back to the feet of the server. And if you can be accurate and take the pace off slightly so it dips down like a Chiquita to the toes of the server, then that will also be really, really effective. Whichever level you play at, it's important to get comfortable and confident with the glass, because as you go up in level, the server can be more accurate and they can definitely hit that glass if they want to. So you need to be able to play with the glass. If you're avoiding it, lunging in front, trying to hit the ball before the glass, it means that you won't be accurate with your return. And so it's really, really important you practice it, allow the ball to come away with the rebound. And a great way to do this is either you can set up a ball machine to fire the ball into the glass and you get some repetition or practice, or work with a friend or training partner so they practice their serve going to the glass, but also at the same time you can practice the return. In our exclusive content, we're going to continue this video and talk about how to defend a very difficult slice serve. But if you want to improve your returns on the right hand side, I'm going to put a video down here where you can go and you can check out the technique for the forehand side. And then up here, I'm going to put a link to thepadelschool.com where you can do a 7-day free trial and immediately start accessing myself and our other coaches and start improving your game.